Chair, I'd like to call this meeting to order.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Murder.
Here.
Mazer. Schneider.
Here.
Sofa.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Wilson absent. Zimmer.
Here.
Now that agenda items from the sidelines, I don't have anything from anybody, so let's move right on into,
We have to make a motion to
oh,
excuse Larry.
I'm sorry, yes.
Second.
Sorry.
Mazer.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson absent. Zimmer.
Yes.
Murder.
Yes. Okay, now the agenda items from the sidelines, I don't have anybody's fill out any forms here. Comments from city administration, we don't have any administrators here on the meeting. Donna, do you have anything to add?
You know, I do.
Okay.
I was gonna say for next week, but September 9th, me and Amber will be gone from like 9 to 3 because we got an election class.
Okay. Well, you guys got a lot of schooling going on. How's yours going, Eric?
It's going great. I just show up whenever I want.
So offices will be closed?
Yeah, from like 9 to 3.
Adoption or amendment of the agenda.
Make a motion to adopt the amendment of agenda as presented. Support.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson absent. Zimmer.
Yes.
Murder.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
All right. Purpose of the meeting is looking to see what we should do with the purchase of the property at 80375 Main Street, also known as the old funeral home. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Zimmer from our advisory committee.
On the spot. No pressure. No, I mean, we met this week. We've been collecting bids over the previous, whatever, how many ever days it is, 25, 30 days. And we have to make a decision by September 1st, as outlined by our attorney and the purchase agreement that we have in place. So really what we need to decide tonight is one of three things. We need to decide if we would like to request an extension on our due diligence period. We would like to move forward with the purchase as is and continue collecting bids or other due diligence as is, or remove ourselves from the contract. We talked about a lot of things. We've received quite a few bids. The advisory committee is in unison in believing that we can come in under our original budget that was set forth, I think when all of this started. So pending some concrete bids, which I think Steve has some information about today. You got one today, right?
Yeah, there's still gonna be some details, but I've had two contractors respond to me. The diagram, it's not the scale,
Yep.
but the existing driveway there, you see that's about 14 feet. So I was asking the two people that bid on it so far, that we want to put the additional lane in. That's where you see the new concrete. That's approximately 170 by 13 feet, which would put us just shy. Didn't want to go right up to the line, but just shy of where those survey markers are on M19. And I also asked for on the back of that, to the west, from where that new strip would be installed, if it comes to that, approximate area of, say, 20 by 60 there, I can see at the top of that page, that would be done with 22A. So I did not get I got a somewhat ballpark figure for one for the cement. There's bids still out, so I don't want to say too much about that right now. And we still need to get a third one. And then also, I shared with them that we would like to get bid on that 22A section also, which I think that would provide more than enough room. We can figure out parking, even on that strip down there, the new strip that goes in. We can even have parking going down that 2-3 spots if you want. The two contractors I talked to don't necessarily do the crush spread of 22A thing, but they said if you have to do it, they knew people in the business that would, so I didn't get any firm figures on that yet. So I'm just waiting for them to finalize the quotes. I texted them both back today, just confirming the area that we're looking at addressing. I gave them the city email address and asked them to send those finished quotes to you. So that's where we're at with that.
We don't have the numbers yet.
Not specifics, not
Roundabout numbers that we could,
Well, I thought it wasn't kosher to talk about.
well, no, I'm just saying,
Do you wanna talk
do you
about
think,
that
do you
stuff?
think roundabout numbers will keep us within
Oh, yeah,
our
absolutely.
Camera,
parameters?
yeah, you can shut the camera off there.
And go into
Yeah,
executive session.
we just, they're kind of coming in like we figured. It's, I would say substantially under what we were considering before. But I don't want to count on it until I see the actual black.
Do you want me to check the email? Would they have done it today?
Well, one just ended up tall concrete I had out there today, and John, what's his name?
Doctor.
John Doctor, yeah, D-O-K, T-O-R, John Doctor. He's getting some preliminary information, but he's
Okay.
writing the formal bid to send to you. And then we should get one more. I put it out to about 4 people, maybe 5 on email. Those are the only 2 that got back to me so far, so. Somebody else knows a concrete contractor on all 4. Someone's scaring up another bid.
Do you think based on what we talked about previously that we'll stay within budget,
Oh, yeah,
just preliminarily?
yeah.
You're confident about that?
Yes, pretty
Do
confident.
you have a preliminary number on the concrete that you can share?
He
But I'm
can't, but he,
It's
Well,
okay.
I don't have,
It's under, it's,
You can
If
show
it's
me.
under what we discussed, I think that's totally.
yeah, and
pass
I
it
don't
around.
have the
Yeah, I
complete
think that's
picture
totally
either,
fine.
because I would like
Because
to,
we have to get the 22A.
yeah, I'd like to factor that into the equation.
22A and having a driveway mat put underneath it, or, you
I
know.
know we did that at the Lions Club not long ago, and we basically got that donated, so I don't know what the cost was on it. Remember when we expanded that out?
Mhm.
I don't know what,
Yeah,
there was
that-
no
that-
cost because it was like donated work.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember, yeah, that's a detail, Mr. Mayor, I wanted to include on that if we want a map down there, so.
And it wasn't
We
just
can
22A
get back to
either,
you.
it was actually the bigger size, and then he put 22A over the top of it.
Yeah, over at Lions Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, he put in a crushed concrete and then the 22A over it, which is the same thing we want to do here.
Like,
Right, first.
You know, because it's gonna give you a good base, and then later on, if we decide that we want to blacktop it, you're gonna have a good base down there, where they might have to skim some of the 22A off, but you give it time to pack down and whatever, so.
And that 20 feet kind of represents where the grade starts to fall off.
Right.
I didn't want to get into a bunch of earth moving and all that, and it's about where, if you remember looking where they had the clothesline posts,
Mhm.
that's kind of about where the.
Pretty wide, yeah.
I think that'd give us enough parking spaces too. I think that saves us some money from having to grade everything down to where it's like drivable.
And it could all be
And
expanded.
it can be done later
after
too, yeah, if we had to, so. Originally, we were going to request an extension based upon the conversations that we were having with contractors regarding the pavement. However, if Steve is confident, it sounds like there's confidence in that, I would think we would be okay moving forward with continuing on with the purchase agreement as is. I think we can stay under budget. I think the things we want to do, the things that we talked about with Amber and Donna to make it retrofitted for city council offices, or city offices, not just city council offices, I think it would be a better space for us. It's in the middle of the city. It's kind of something for us to say, hey, this is the center point of our city. So I open the floor for discussion.
I said, functionally, I think it'd be better in the long run.
Functionally, I think it's much better.
If anybody
It's
really
much needed
wanted to know
space.
how the space is around here, you could walk through that office and see that it's cramped. I mean, and then the document storage situation is just ridiculous. if you, I would be worried about asking for an extension. They could easily just say, no, you know, you've had 30 days to get these numbers and, you know, push it too much, you know. I'd be willing to make a motion right now, just move forward, unless there's more discussion.
Before you, Phil, in your experience, when extensions are asked for, what's that process look like from both sides, the seller and the buyer's perspective?
You never, I mean.
You never know.
You never know what the seller. You know,
Right.
He's probably, and not based on you guys, but based on his ZBA, he lumps you all as a city. And
Sure.
and he's a little leery,
Mhm.
at least the conversations we have with his agent. Most of the times in business dealings, it's not a problem. And I would not tell you that, yes, he's gonna say, oh.
Sure, no big deal. Yeah.
His agent has called me every week, and I basically told me I was just getting in front of the bids and waiting for bids, and they understood that, so.
Do you know if he has other buyers?
I don't know, you guys would probably know.
There was another offer before we put our offer in, so it must
Yeah,
have been.
there was an offer prior, and he said they had a couple people interested, but I'm assuming you guys would know more because they'd have to come down here and see what they wanted to do and see if it was
They
inside.
never come.
They might do that
We're the
after
last to
during
know.
their due diligence,
After,
though, too, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, so I don't know, because I've never been able to talk directly to this, so I talked to his agent. And his agent said, yes, they had some showings, they had some interest, they had somebody who wanted to do, and that's why I had asked Don if everybody would come down, because they wanted somebody who wanted to live upstairs and run retail in the first one, and I said, and he was asking me, because he felt that, because I'm representing you, I would know, and I'm like, no, I don't want to say, if you need to know that, you gotta go down and ask them, so I
Yeah.
don't, but it's hard to say. Price per square foot is really a great price. And if you guys haven't heard anything, I don't know.
Okay.
If we ask for an extension and he says no, can you turn around and say, okay, then we'll take it?
Basically, reopen the contract.
We'd have to
You'd have to ask
rewrite
your
it.
city attorney, but typically you just said, I'm not gonna be able to complete it as is, I need this extra time.
And if they say no, we'd have to start a whole new one, right? Because our time would expire
The time expires on,
September 2nd.
yeah.
Okay.
So if we asked for an extension then, Phil, and they denied it, we would still be able to move forward with the purchase agreement so long as we did so before September 2nd?
The way we usually,
Not if you put it in writing.
if you put it in writing that you're, when I reopen the contract, words, you need this extension,
Right.
they have the ability to say, well, then, we're not going to.
I didn't quite understand.
We'd have to complete and propose a whole new purchase agreement, right? If they,
Possible.
if they say.
It's possible.
Okay.
It'd be up to them though.
It would be at
You
their,
take the ball out of your court and put it into theirs.
right,
Because right now the ball's in your court.
right. Which isn't a great feeling or thought, in my opinion.
It isn't, or it is?
I would rather that we were in control of what we're doing instead
Right now
of
we
waiting
are.
for, yeah, right, instead of waiting for them to tell us what we can or can't do,
Mhm.
so.
But if your numbers are coming in less than we had anticipated in the beginning, and you're confident of that,
Can I ask you a question, Steve, did they give you like, because week after Friday, today's Tuesday still, right? It's been a long week. I mean, if you guys make a decision, you can say, okay, as long as we get quotes of this or less by this day, by Friday, we'll just go forward. If not, we're gonna need the extension. I mean, if you're uncomfortable, that's always an option. It gives you another 2 business days, 2.5.
But then we'd be in the same boat if they don't accept the extension.
Correct, yeah.
We're still,
Right, but I mean, it gives you a
The
couple,
same thing.
gives you a little bit more time to get the
yeah.
quotes in.
Do we know when the next, they haven't responded to you, I'm guessing?
No, I'm a little cautious. I do feel we're coming under bid, but we still have to firm up through one of the floor bidders. They have to come out and measure the building and give an exact quote. Don't have the third concrete bid in yet. I don't know how long it'll take to get that going. I mean, we've done pretty well with it. That's about the only 2 major sticking points. And just because
And at this point, right now, we're collecting these numbers on our estimates
Right, and
to
everything.
look at what we want to do. That doesn't mean that after, if we decide to move forward with the purchase, then we can't back up and put it out for another 6 bids.
Sure.
Well, and everything we've estimated is on the high end, right? I would say we
Right.
went to the high end of all of our.
Oh, I know that
estimates.
with the estimates, that I mean, it's one of those with, you know, the years that I put in construction, I put some numbers on here just to do a budgetary thing
Right.
for me. And I've come up way higher than you guys.
Yeah, we went to the high end of what we have currently, with the only exception being the survey, because that's already completed, so that number won't change. But the other ones, we did estimate at the high end.
Right, and once we, say we decide to move forward, and once we're under contract, when we close, we can take bids for
We can
all the
shop,
stuff. These
yeah.
numbers may change, they may go down if you get, we'll have more time to take more bids, we won't be under this 30-day
Time.
pressure, you
Yeah.
know. So we'll have time and we could take, you know, weeks to take bids and make sure that we really work it out to find the best price.
Yeah.
This is just preliminary, like due diligence. So
Right,
if you went to the high end, we could probably do better than this.
potentially, yes. That
If
is
we move, sorry.
theoretically.
If we
that-
move quickly before, you know,
Yes.
inflation beats us or something like that, but
Right.
as it is now, it seems like we're looking pretty good.
Are there questions from anyone about like bids and what process we went through and anything like that? The survey that we used, anything?
No, I think I saw enough text messages on that.
Yeah, we tried.
No, they're very good. I mean, I want to thank everybody in advisory
Yeah,
for,
yes.
you know, jumping on this, and you guys have done the best that you can to move as fast as you can in a limited amount of time. And should we move forward with this, and we can kind of take a step back and, you know, look around a little bit better. There are things that, you know, haven't been bid yet that, you know, we can take a second look at, so.
What's our final recommendation?
I mean, I think based on what the initial concrete would be, I would say I don't want to speak for you two, but I would be comfortable moving forward, to be completely honest, without us being able to confer together and talk it out. That is just me. Based on the numbers we talked about, based on the budget we created, and the number we needed to be under, I think we're still gonna be well under that number. So again, not speaking for the two of you, but I would say, in my opinion, I think we are okay to continue moving forward. I'm comfortable with it.
My opinion too.
That was my big concern was budget, and I think we can do better than what we had originally talked about anyway. So I would think we're okay to move forward. Steve, what are your thoughts?
I concur, I'm just a little more cautious, but in the overall context, it's just been said that we can tighten up these bids and get the other ones that we need.
I think you have a better chance of getting the bids that you want to be lower, not in the middle of the summer, because most schedules are already done.
Yeah.
As opposed to the fall, you seal bids and put them out for, you know, next year, like the first of the year, I think you'll be a lot better off as far as the bids go, so.
So I would say go ahead, Robbie.
I was just gonna say, if you wanted to add into that, that if between now and Friday, he doesn't accept our offer, if Phil doesn't accept our offer to them until Friday, just in case we get an outrageous bid Thursday, Friday.
Right.
But it'd have to be really outrageous to,
Well,
Yeah.
if you don't answer by the deadline, you're going forward. It's not you're out, you are
okay.
assumed to be going forward.
Then the purchase moves forward, right?
Yeah. If you don't make the deadline, it's assumed that you are moving forward.
But there's like that 1% chance where we might say,
Right, I mean, yeah, so I can have, actually the mayor sign both, yes, we're satisfied, and no, we need an extension, and you can call me on Friday morning and say, the final bid's in, and so try for the extension, or,
yeah, we might not get it by Friday either, so.
well, I know, but I'm just saying.
But we still want to move forward, I don't want
It would be.
Yeah,
Still, yeah,
we
that's
would
what I
be,
mean.
no matter what. So I would say, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna move forward, it's typically better to tell somebody you're moving forward,
That, yeah.
than to make them find out because you went through
Missed the deadline.
missed the deadline,
Yeah.
Because we're missing the deadline, all it would mean is, yes, we're supposed to go forward and your deposit becomes non-refundable. But we still have scheduled closing with them.
So I would say based on Steve, Robbie, and myself that it is the recommendation of the advisory committee to proceed with the purchase of 80375 Main Street and begin the process of planning and creating a schedule for repairs and renovations.
You want a motion, Mr. Mayor?
Please.
I'll make a motion to move forward.
Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson absent, Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Absolutely.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to thank
There's a lot of work to
Steve
do.
for everything that he's put into it, because anytime I've stopped over there, he's been there and thorough with the contractors, really getting down and knowing what the heck they're talking about, the work that they're gonna do. You know, it wasn't just, you know, sit back.
It's a lot.
like that. Yeah, it's a lot, you know, and I know middle of the day stuff, you got things going on. I really appreciate the work you put in on it.
I really appreciate all the work that you guys have put forward on this, and I know you're gonna keep moving forward on this. Phil, you wanna talk to me about anything, you know, well, there are things that have been missed here, but it's not an astronomical cost, and we have to get
Right.
some of the electrical on it. That's kind of like more or less relocating and changing out some of the lighting, but it's not a game changer.
We put some of that in the budget. That we
Yeah,
threw-
threw a number on top of
Yeah,
that.
we threw some of that in our budget creation as well. One question I have logistically, who sets the schedule for everything? Does advisory continue leading that, or does that go to DPW
You
since
have
it
like a
becomes a
project
city?
manager for that,
Yeah,
contractor, and
Well, once we really get,
Once
once
we
we're
all-
closed and we're moving along,
we can
Yeah.
figure that part out.
I guess we can.
Maybe
We probably
maybe we'll
should.
form a separate committee just for,
Like a special project.
A work group or something like that for that.
you know, where we can, you know, blend DPW along with advisory or whatever we need.
And
to
keep,
do.
you know, keep Mel involved, you know,
Yeah.
if he's available. I know he's going off to Florida, so maybe he won't be.
I think it leaves end of October.
Yeah, so we have some time. And Phil, we'll be able to,
Now it does have a guy that's
even after we're
upset.
past due diligence, do you think there'll be a problem, getting access to the building between now and closing?
Yeah, I don't believe we would, they never give us any trouble.
And I don't remember the original purchase agreement, but what was our closing date?
Great question, I left that in my office.
Okay. I imagine since it's a cash offer, it's gonna be 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I wanna say, I think it was, September 21st.
Okay.
Well,
Which was based on our due diligence, so we're maybe ahead of the game right now by a little bit. Couple
So
months.
the regular October council meeting, we can start planning that stuff out. We can spend some time, or send it to committees or create a special committee or whatever. it is.
I think people who are familiar with that kind of stuff are good, because, you know, I know Steve's on a million things right now, but, you know, when it comes to the heating and cooling stuff, he knows what's going
Right.
on over there. And Bart's gonna know about the 22A and the concrete, be helpful with that, so.
right.
We can still get contractors in there to look, 'cause like I said, there's a couple of things I'd
Yeah,
like to
exactly. Just let
follow
me
up
know.
and have
Yeah.
some more information fleshed out.
Okay.
I'll call the other
Yeah,
technical.
all they've asked me is that let them know. They usually give us a free run of,
Oh, is that?
Oops. Steve, did you want to add anything else?
No, I just wanna thank my fellow committee members on the advisory, we thought we worked well together, we got right after it, and I don't know how we could have done it any quicker.
No. Especially in this day and age, sometimes waiting on bids, you can be stuck in the back row sometimes, so. Is there, Robbie, anything else?
that's it.
My hats off to them, Zimmer, we all worked hard on it, as I
Nice
did.
job, Tim, too.
Eric?
Motion to adjourn.